All right, guys, what's up? What's good? What's good? How's it going, gang? All right, y'all ready to, make some moves? Let's get some good trades today. We got a lot going on. Got a lot of good stuff. So give me a sec here. Let me get a couple things ready to roll. All right, cool. All right, sweet. Well, good to be here with y'all. Let me see who's in the chat with me today. We're about to get into the market. ¿Qué tal? Hola, viajero. Puccini, what's good? Got Jay in the house. Joe, Seth, Colombia. Morning, Karen, Ruben, Aidar, what's up? Rafa, what's good? Harsh. What's up, F? Drevis, got Kinder in here. Jose. GVP buys right now. Sweet. I actually haven't looked at majors yet. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, we can go over that in a little bit. So, guys, if you're new here, every day we go over indices. On average, on this stream, on average, I think we take about a trade a day. Some days definitely heavier than others. But we'll look at indices, we'll look at metals, we'll look at oil. That's what we're going to look at today. We'll have majors. There's just less setups based off of like the system that I run, but they're still there. And then typically when there's a little bit of a break, if things slow down, we'll start looking at a couple of stocks, a little bit of crypto, see if there's any options plays and things like that. Yeah, so cool. Do I recommend to focus only on gold? It depends on what stage that you're in. My recommendation is that you focus on one setup, one entry model, one exit. That's what I would focus on. If you wanted to, I don't know how much you understand English, but let me know. But I would also say it also depends on your availability. So if you only focus on gold, you just might not trade as much. And I think, I know in the beginning, what's more important is you're going to want to get repetitions. You want experience. So practicing, seeing a setup, taking the trade, seeing where you're making mistakes, seeing how you're improving, that matters way more. All right. So with that being said, y'all, let's get the screen share going. Let's dive in here. Okay. All right, cool. So right before I start diving into this session, I'm going to go over, what I'm going to do here every day is I'm going to go over like a tweet of the day, a post of the day, a little psychology to get you guys in the right state of mind in one way or another. So today, here's my lesson for you. The thing standing between you and consistency isn't a setup that you haven't figured out yet. It's not a strategy that you don't know. It's a version of you that you haven't become yet. And the faster that you can accept that, especially the longer you've been trading, and the longer you're not seeing results, it's really not about the charts anymore. It's not about a strategy. I trust that over enough time, you get exposed to good entries and exits, but you have to just accept. It really is me. I have to shred parts of me, and then there's probably not that much you need to add, but there's a lot to eliminate usually. So first thing to focus on, and I guess the real question, the actionable step is, are you willing to accept that? And are you willing to go and do it? to go and do what it takes to become someone new. All right. So, and you guys will always find these on on X, on Threads, and stuff like that. So that's how we go. But let me make one more change, y'all. Okay. Should be good to go now. Taco Tuesday, man. Let's get it today. Let's really get it today. We gotta eat, so let's look at the charts because you can't eat if you're not taking trades. All right. How long are the sessions? About 90 minutes. Yeah, about 90 minutes. 90 minutos. Typically, usually, yeah, about 90 minutes. If the market's looking good, if we're in the middle of trades, if we're managing things, then I'll go a little bit longer. If it's dead, sometimes a little bit shorter. But typically, yeah, about 90 minutes. So, okay. Dow has been super bullish. I know after we swept liquidity here, this was the rejection, really. It was this right here. This order block had all of the power in the world, apparently. Now, every once in a while, and I think this is kind of one of my current, what I'm looking to figure out right now is when, and obviously this takes time and data tracking, and hey, I'm open to learning. Like, I've been doing this for 10 years, but, you know what's crazy about today? Today is my 9-year anniversary of being vegan. So I haven't had meat in 9 years, or dairy. Isn't that wild? Crazy. And I can still outlive 99% of you. Crazy. But you know what? Where's the protein coming from, y'all? Where's the protein? But what's even cooler, or just as cool, equally awesome, is that it's been about 9 years. Like 9 years ago is when I went full time as a trader, as an entrepreneur. 9 years. So I'm grateful, because that was a sign that I was just willing to change. I was willing to take risks. I was willing to do something different. And so that's actually so cool. I remember because it was 7/7/2017. So yeah, I'm so grateful, because I just feel like I've lived a complete life. So anyways, I wish that on all of you. And that's how here we trade for freedom. We trade for sovereignty, freedom of the mind, freedom of the flesh, freedom to experience the world you dream to experience, freedom to have power over the time that you deserve to have, freedom to have power over your will. So that's what we do. That's why it's called the Sovereign Syndicate, right? It's a group of elite people who are willing to elevate their standards to get access to that freedom. Because you know what? We all deserve it. We're not all born with it, but you can get that shit back. But anyways, so yesterday we saw this play out of this order block. I want to figure out when we mitigate off lower zones and when just order blocks. It's kind of just give or take at this point. I was open to taking a buy lower, but this played out. I know Corey took this, so shout out Corey. But anyways, we had a nice big sweep here, and then we just kept going. So this is what we would call a textbook mitigation setup, where you had this position sweep liquidity. So you have this position, this big sell right here. So this obliterates all of these equal lows. And then the most important part, which really gives this validity, is right here. Here's where you have the continuation. Here is the break of structure. Here's where things get good. So right there, it's because the market maintained price above here, is why this is very bullish, high quality setup. This is like, you don't actually see these as often as you used to. So this is one I'm definitely going to have my eyes on. And then I'm going to be looking to take the buys right around this zone where we've seen support before, right over here. So this is going to be a sweet spot for me. Right in there. And then we'll see how we work our way down here. This may or may not happen soon, but for now, yeah, it's looking good. And then based off of the exit, we'll kind of see where we go. Right, we'll see where we go. I'll keep this right at around 33, 5, 20-ish, little 3.5R. I'm going to share this right away so that some people are ready for this. I don't think it'll happen soon. It might happen end of day. It might happen later in the week, but it'll be here. Today's setups, July 7th, 2026. I'm just thinking about those days. All right, and then this is all right, and now we're gonna look at NQ. We're gonna look at S&P real quick as well. So, pin this, and then I'm gonna review yesterday's setups too. All right. So yesterday we had this, so we'll go over that in a bit. But all right, so New York Open here in just a couple seconds. You're seeing Dow kick things off already with volatility, starting off aggressively. Big movement to the downside. Remember, Dow right now is trading in price discovery. We've never been over here before. This is just brand new levels. So Dow starting things off a bit bearish. Meanwhile, NQ has been bearish and kicking things off bullish. So we're seeing inverse correlation. This is when they're moving in opposite directions. When this happens right here, typically we can just treat these as completely separate ideas, okay? Completely separate ideas. So right now, is there a specific sell I would take on Dow? No. I'm not looking for anything here. There's no setup, not for me at least. So cool. And it's in a bullish trend, so I'm not really looking to do much there. And then, okay, so what about NQ? Now NQ played out of our zone yesterday. Remember, yesterday we were looking for shorts out of NASDAQ. I wanted to sell, but I wanted a slightly higher entry. So I was about 20, 30 points away from an entry here, which sadly just didn't get there, but we have successfully closed this big pump, right? This big buy order where smart money buys in, orchestrates a bullish move just to sell off on everybody. So that happens. It goes down. That's a wrap. Now the market is working its way back down. And where I wanted entries is actually down here. So the buys that I am looking for NASDAQ is right over here. Considering that we have the markets moving in opposite directions, so NQ's been bearish, Dow has been bullish. I'm willing to play this NASDAQ trade on its own. I'm going to go under my normal risk. I'm not going to risk what I typically risk here. I'm going to go a little bit less. And also, guys, just friendly reminder, if you're using trade copiers, if you're trade copying, make sure they're all connected. Make sure everything is running smoothly, okay? That way you're good to go. Okay, here we go. So yeah, let's see if we get an entry over here. If NQ keeps going down and then Dow keeps going up, if that's kind of how things end up rolling, then I'm open to this opportunity. Am I in anything? No, I'm in nothing right now. Not like a futures trade at the moment, no. And then S&P, typical. It's kind of just in the middle. It's in no man's land. So S&P could either go for these Asian highs over here, or we could see it look to take out London, Tokyo lows as well. So S&P, I think, will be targeting some sort of liquidity. But when you see Dow and NQ going in opposite directions, so you have one going up, the other one going down, typically S&P just kind of squeezes. It has a hard time deciding a direction. So, okay. Now, look at NQ starting to crack. It's looking like it could take Tokyo lows here soon. So a lot more bearish momentum for NASDAQ right now. And here's why I was looking for this. This buy I was looking for here with NQ, I was looking for this zone because we had this spike down. So if we go over to here, we had NASDAQ push all the way down to here. Big sweep, stalls, one more move, then it rips. So right around here is where I could see us trading into, which is why we're like getting there right about now. And either we get all the way down to here or we trade right out of here. So I'm actually going to trade this with 2 entries. I'm going to take one. A little bit higher in the zone. And this one I'm going to risk about 200 if that makes sense. I don't know if I can actually. I might need to risk a little more for a contract here. Yeah, all right. So I'm going to put one contract here, and then I'm going to have another if we go a little bit deeper in the range. But, they're all moving together right now. I don't love that, actually. So NQ is pushing lower. Dow is pushing lower. S&P still has more liquidity to sweep. So guys, I'm going to cancel this one. I don't love it, especially if they're all moving in unison. NQ looks a little bit more bearish. I'm canceling it. Hopefully the lag here isn't too bad. I think it's only a couple seconds. Yeah, when I'm saying this right now, it's 8:35 with 33 seconds. So I think typically I have low latency, so maybe 2 seconds max. I'm deleting my order only because if you compare all the assets right now, NQ is just way too bearish. It's already slammed Tokyo lows, slammed London lows. It's broken below these levels. We're already below, for example, like yesterday at midnight. 8 seconds there. Okay, so it's a little bigger. What's up, Greg? And then meanwhile, S&P still hasn't taken London lows. I could be wrong. This could play out, but when they're moving in unison and like they're moving together, same direction, typically I don't like to be buying the most aggressive bear. It doesn't work as much for me. So that's my take. You guys obviously do whatever you want. You have to build your own experiences. You have to buy into your own beliefs. So if you can't do that, then you're never going to be the trader that you trust. And at the end of the day, you have to become the trader that you trust. And this is because I'm assuming, and I really need you guys to think about this, and I actually wrote this, and I shared this a while ago, but I shared this. I hadn't shared this here in the YouTube community, which I'm using this a little bit more. I feel like it's a nice place to share stuff in here, you know. But I put this here, right? Use prop firms to make money, but don't confuse the prop firm game with the ability to manage a long-term trading account. We don't know what the business of prop firms will look like in a few years, let alone a decade from now. Understand the difference and prepare accordingly. So, and the reason I bring that up is there's a different level of self-confidence, and not in your skill to see the charts, but in your skill to protect your money. There's a different level of trust and risk, understanding that you can manage your emotions well, that you're going to reduce your ability to go tilt. All of that matters so much. So now something I want to bring into mind here, things have changed. Look at how much more aggressive we're seeing Dow become. So Dow is starting to push lower and still staying down, like it's still going lower and lower. while NQ is kind of slowly working its way over. So I might pull the trigger on this with the contract here. I want to see if Dow can just keep pushing, keep slamming down, because now NQ is kind of, it's going down, but not as aggressively as we're seeing Dow Jones. And look at how, okay, and this is nice too. Now S&P is starting to take out London lows, with Dow being so bearish. So we'll see. Maybe this is something that we end up, taking a trade with. And then also one thing that you'll notice is, look at how New York Open kicked things off. New York Open created this bullish pump first and then drag price down. What's up, Jenny? Hi. Hi, Jenny. Okay, so a little bit of back and forth action. You had Dow as well pump right before it dumps here. So we'll see. For all we know, we let this keep rolling. I'm here to take high probability setups. I prefer taking setups that I believe in, and I'm not just like, kind of iffy with. So that means that sometimes, I miss out, then whatever, I miss out. Okay, so while indices unfold and we get a bit more data there and we see just more information roll out, yesterday's gold trade was a little lame. Here's why. Yesterday we took a shakeout right around here and went into profits. Right, we rebalanced, and then here's the setup from here. So let's just move this over. So we went into some profit, and then the market went into the imbalance. This is when I talked about adjusting your stop loss. So this trade ended up going about minus, I think, it was a half R risk, and then we cut our stop loss in half. So it was about a quarter R loss. But we also were in silver buys. And then what happened with silver is, silver ended up actually running. Anyone end up surviving and hitting take profit on silver? So for me, this silver trade ended up stopping me out in profit here, I believe. It came back. I was like right over here. So it came back, tagged me out in profit. And then I just managed it too tightly, I guess. So it is what it is. Where was it? Was it this one? Here was the mitigation, about 40 points. And then once it gave me this, I believe, I moved it like right here. So if you held on to this, awesome. It ended up tagging me out, and then it ran. Seth, nice, dude. And then it just went, boom. So hit the TP. The exit was beautiful, targeting the previous high, and then I think that was it for the day. From here, I dumped. Yeah, I dumped from here. Just goodbye. What prop firms under experience do I recommend? Futures or CFDs? Jonathan, what do you ask? Which one are you asking about? Futures. So the two, there's three that I really like. There's two that I love though. So Tradeify and Lucid. Both of them are awesome. My personal favorite is the Tradeify Select and the Lucid Flex for props. It's really up to you. Wait, hold on. Is it a Tradeify Select? Or is it Tradeify Growth? I haven't bought a one. I haven't needed to buy a Tradeify account in a bit. So, let's see. Yeah, Tradeify Select. I like this one because what I want is that once you're funded, I don't want a consistency rule. So yes, it's a little harder up front, but then it's easier later. So for sure, the Tradeify Select, because the Tradeify Growth, there's no consistency rule on the challenge, but then there's one once you're funded. So I prefer that. But if I had to pick between Tradeify Select and Lucid Growth, if I had to pick between one or the other, I would go Lucid Flex. I would go with Lucid Flex. Lucid Flex has a 50% consistency rule instead of 40. So Lucid Flex beats it out by just a little bit. So I do prefer that. And then you guys could use code MAGO, MAGO, for either, and you're good to go. TopStep I think is great as well. I like their live program. Yeah, those are the top three for sure. For sure. Payouts are super fast on Lucid and Tradeify, like scary fast. Can you connect? Yeah, so all you have to do is use the Tradeivate. When you're getting an account, click the Tradeivate option, trade, TRADOVATE, and then you're good to go. Then you can trade on TradingView. Those are, they all end, all the trades end at the end of the trading day. TopStep, those trades close at 3:10 p.m. Central, and then Tradeify and Lucid close them by 3:59 p.m. Central. So you can't hold because with Tradeify prop firms, that's the downside. So get a live account if you want to swing trade. Okay, so let me do a quick recap. Let me go check indices real quick, and then we can get back to it. So it looks like NQ, good reaction off the low. This sell-off was about 155 points based off of what I have here. So let me double check. Yeah, about 155 points. The reaction out of this level has been short, 115. So if this keeps going, then I'd say, okay, cool, money came in, it's a wrap, like, or whatever. But we did get a little reaction here at NQ. Dow as well. Dow swept some of this liquidity. It got below the last couple hours worth of buyers. Didn't take London lows, didn't take Tokyo lows, so that there's still more motive for this to go down, which is cool. S&P cleared London, but it looks like it's coming back down. I'm not in selling territory yet either. When we broke these low, we came back in way too quickly, so I'm not looking for sells. Not yet. So yeah, I want more confirmation for now. So I'm gonna leave indices alone, let the market do its thing. Metals have broken this high. So on the 15 minute, so let's just zoom out for a second, right? Here's the 1 hour. Gold has done something that is shifting my bias here on the 1 hour. So right now, what I'm looking at with gold is that gold now has done this. So this here is now a break of structure, which now makes 1 hour bullish here, okay? So that means that could the market sell its way down to here? Sure, but I want to be in buys long term. At least, like, if I'm going to retrace, I can take profit. If I'm going to sell, I can go for profits, but I'm only looking to trade within this range. If I'm going to be into buys, I'm going to go and I could go for higher highs. Sells, I'm staying within the range. If I'm going to look for buys, I can go for bigger moves. So that kind of gives you awareness on where you can be. So that's the 1 hour time frame right there. Now, as we zoom in a little more and we get a little bit more detail, here you have the higher low, get to this higher high over here, okay? So from this point of view, we're still bullish on the 15 minute. And then as you start to get into smaller and smaller charts, structure, we do start to see a shift in momentum where we go from higher highs to higher lows to higher highs. And then we start getting into lower low territory. So whether it's a 5 minute, 15 minute, however you want to interpret this, yes, we break below these lows and we trade down here for the last all week, right? Basically since the open, we just start to work our way down to here. So you do have a smaller time frame that is flipped back to bearish, and we could eventually start going lower. The question is this: will this high hold or not? Are we going to be able to sell out of here or not? Because this now you have, we'll say like 5 to 15 minute structure, which is now bearish. So short term sells, long term buys, or mid-term buys. From here, yeah, we could look to sell. However, I really want to sell if we have silver. If gold was more bearish, I would be down. But silver is way down here still. And I think that there's a chance that silver, if silver gets back to these areas, it might just poke gold above. So there is a chance, there's a world where this gets broken. So if gold stays more bullish than silver, this mitigation could fail and we briefly break above this high. So I'm going to keep that here, and it's noted for you guys. So I would like sells here, but only if it's the more bearish than silver. Right now, it's leading the move up. It's already trading above these New York and Tokyo highs. It's already trading near Sunday's Asian price action, whereas silver is not. Silver is over here. Silver's hanging out. So silver sells look better right now. And the question is, well, where do you sell silver? And I think we just got it. It looks like this right there. This is where New York high spikes up and then starts to work its way lower. It looks like it kind of just tags that price and then aggressively sells. If it keeps pushing lower, then that's probably going to be the case. So this looks just about complete here. And then I still think we end up getting up into this zone. And you guys can kind of see here. Here was the big spike. So silver does this big move up here and then drops. So I'm curious to see if we have the market trade up to here. This is something I'd be willing to take. Let's say, for example, let's just say that silver gets to like this zone, this range, and if at the same time we see gold break the high, ooh, that would be it for me. So if we were to see this, let's say like break above, and at the same time is when silver's sitting there in that pocket, in that mitigation zone, then we're good. How do you know which time frame to use for the mitigation zone? I have a crystal ball, and I just ask it. But I don't actually understand your question. What do you mean, what time frame to use? I just go down to the small, like, okay, so I'll go like, 15 minute, 5 minute, whatever, to see like generally, okay, where are we sweeping liquidity? And then I'll zoom in. So then I'll go to the 5 minute, the 1 minute, and I'll see, okay, where does, for example here, right, this zone that I marked up, where does the price actually start to move? So it's not about time frames for me. It's just seeing, okay, what's the origination of like where does money come in and sweep it? So here I had to go all the way down to see like, oh, right here's where it starts and it clears the highs. If we were to go to, for example, this YM liquidity sweep. So look at this here. So like here for this one, it's not like I just go on the 15-minute and that's it. Like I'll go to the 15, I'm like, okay, here we start seeing a sweep of the low. And then I'll zoom in and I'll go, okay, well, what if I went to the 1 minute in this area? Where does this all begin? And I can see like, oh, right here, here's where it wakes up and then just starts to bleed out. So this is where I mark it from. So it's not just, it's multiple time frame analysis. You get down to the details. Yeah. Can I explain why I'm waiting for silver to catch up with gold to enter? It's called correlation, divergence. So, like for example, if gold and silver, they're correlated, so they move relatively together. If I'm looking for sells, I don't want to sell the one that's more bullish. It could be either or. So I want to sell the one that's with the least bullish momentum. I dive into that a lot more in like our live feedback sessions with the syndicate group. Yeah, or I think, do you go into that on the fast track group or not really? Divergence and correlations? A little bit, right? Yeah, it's kind of more of an advanced confirmation for this. Do you need it to have a profitable system? No. But does it give you an edge? For sure. Yeah, it definitely helps. Okay, so look at this, guys. NQ is still bleeding out, is still selling off more aggressively. So I will not be buying NASDAQ today. Looks like that's not going to be the case. And it looks like we have a better and better case for these Dow buys later. So this guy just got to be patient. And I know some of you may be thinking, well, Mike, if you think this is going to dump, why don't you sell this motherfucker? Well, guys, I don't have a setup. So I can't sell what I don't have an opportunity in. I would have liked to sell NQ. But the way we got down here, we only really traded below this low for like 5 minutes, and then we kind of quickly came back up. My win rate when the market breaks a structure too briefly goes down significantly. So I don't like taking these trades when we have like 5 minutes of a structure break. If you are less, maybe you're looser, like you have just kind of looser confirmations, or that's just not a confirmation for you, then I can understand. Some of you probably took this sell, so dope, awesome. But it's not for me, and that's fine. But right now, because NQ has just been so much more bearish than Dow, yeah, I'm just holding off. I'm gonna stay. I'ma stay. Namaste. You're in YM buys. Cool. Tight. Looks like you're trading this push off. I think this already mitigated, in my opinion. If my eyes don't mistake me, looks like this happened here. There's Tokyo lows here. I'm gonna chill it. This one does not look good. This is not good enough for me. You ain't taking my money. No, sir. Yeah, S&P I think takes out Tokyo lows still. I'm good on that. What's interesting? A little interesting here. This is kind of stalling a little bit. So NQ stalling a little bit. Let's see here. What would be interesting, and I would take this for just briefly, if we see Dow take out Tokyo lows, because now S&P took out London lows. Oh, S&P just swept Tokyo lows. Okay, very cool. If Dow takes out Tokyo lows and for whatever reason NQ is still chilling in this zone, I might take it. I may hold this. I might be waiting for too many confirmations here, which is okay. I'm cool with it. Let's see. Will Dow take these lows? I think we are going to get this trade. All right. I'm going to send it a little half hour action. And I took this because now we've seen sweeps of liquidity on Dow takes out Tokyo lows. We saw S&P take out Tokyo lows. So high liquidity areas are swept. Meanwhile, NQ started to just hold that low. Like it just held the zone while everything else started dumping. That's that price divergence that I like to see. It's a little bit kind of like, it's like you have to interpret quickly and it's not perfect. But it's good enough to have some exposure to this, and I'm down. So I'm in that quick decision making. DeAndre, thank you for the liquidity, and we're good to roll here. So this one, I think my risk is like it's not even too much. So we'll see. We'll see if it plays out. I might be liquidity too, but. Now what we need is DeAndre, I love you. I'm sorry, I had to make the joke. So now I'm looking for like about 150 point reversal minimum. That's like the minimum mitigation right there. So if we get that, we're good. There's a lot of there's a chance this only like does the bare minimum rejection and then just drops. So let's see what kind of reversal we get out of here. Let's see. And what's the rest of this looking like? Tokyo. Okay, decent. Not so. This is obviously I'm copy trading over to accounts. We're starting to get a pretty good move. I really could have put another contract on here, and I thought about it, but that's okay. I'm at peace with this. That's fine. It's something, you know? Seeing the market rebalance, I think, is the bare minimum, trading into all of this traffic over here. Let's see. I wanted to add a contract. What does that look like right here? What is my risk? 236, 430. I'm gonna let it be. Just let it do its thing. Right now, the bounce that we're seeing so far has been minimal, about 84 points. We can go, I think we can kind of double up. Let's see where this bad boy goes. I like these kind of moves now that we've had like everyone that was buying throughout London, the lows on Tokyo swept. Same thing with S&P. That always looks good to me. And then this came into where we had a nice little sell-off right over here too. So let's see where this can go. I'm not going to ask for too much of this. If we start to see Dow or S&P rip a bit more bullish, more aggressively, and NQ is slower to like continue to push higher, then I'll take my profit earlier than what I plan to. So we'll see. Right now, it's kind of, it looks like that is what it's doing. It looks like suddenly Dow and NQ is still just kind of chilling in here while Dow is starting to make this reversal. So let's see. Price action now is looking less nice for NQ. And I'm not going to be adding more to this. Now that we're seeing price action kind of flip like this, there's no point in me adding more since it's not leading the charge. See how we're seeing NQ go lower here? Now, one of the mistakes that people will make is that they go into drawdown, and there's two types of traders. You go into drawdown, and some of them get scared, and they're like, they want to pull out early. And then you get the other version that's like goes into drawdown, and they're like, let me just throw more at this thing. Now I have a better entry. But then you're overexposed to your original plan. So don't get crazy over there. Don't lose the plot. Don't lose the plot, my guy. Be smooth. All right. Meanwhile, what are metals doing? Okay. I don't love when this happens. So, gold at least can work its way down. It looks like this imbalance, it can kind of push a little bit lower. And this going lower isn't typically good. It's not great for what I want here. Silver holding it down better. But let's see. Let's see if metals want to just reverse early for some reason. Finds its imbalance and it's good to go. Let's see. All right. So we have Dow starting to pull up again. You can do it, buddy. And Q got some momentum, a little bit. Obviously, we're trading small time frame here. And then, all right, S&P pushing along. So we're still seeing Dow actually with a little bit more bullish momentum than NQ. So no reason for me to add more exposure than I originally have. Because I'm here, I'm at like actually less than a half R of risk here, while I have more available if I wanted to, but I don't have the confirmation to. Meanwhile, oil is on a mission. Now, I want to bring this into your attention because I was looking for oil shorts here. And we're not very far. So oil here, I'm bringing this up again because this was a setup that I mentioned yesterday and that we shared yesterday. So if you follow along with the Tradetopia trades here, then you'll see we had oil right here that we're looking for. So we are getting closer there. All right, so let me go ahead and let me add this again today. So I'm just gonna update this one. Oil, little chart. Make sure you're trading the right contract. The chart I have in front of you is a mini. So please make sure you're trading MCLQ for the sake of your trading account. When it's good, it's good, but when it's bad, it is bad. Trust me. What you don't want to do is lose 7 figures in funding because of that. It is not it. I'm gonna tell you right now. All right, look at price action flipping. And Q, what it do? All right, oil. Did oil just get up there? All right, oil in the imbalance now. Okay. So right in the zone. All right, so let me actually mark this up on the MCL chart so that I don't accidentally take the wrong setup. And then I think I was at 7105. Is that my entry? 7105. Cool. Short here. All right. And then for a take profit here, I'm looking at let's see, really high probability exit would be where we saw a little bit of resistance here, but I don't want that. I think we can go lower than that. Trading into London highs for a nice little 2.5 R. That's nice. That's light work. However, we are bearish, and at higher time frames, I still think we go lower. So I'm down to hold this because we're just going with the trend. This is retracing on a small time frame, but it's not. It's going with the trend on the higher time frame. So I'm cool with actually having this, holding this for the day, seeing where this can take us here. So I'm gonna ride this out. We'll see what happens and how fast we could get to this area or not. I'm gonna give myself a little bit of some room to run here. So I'm actually going to set this up already, and this is a full R trade for me. Got 9 micros on this bad boy. Meanwhile, NQ is bleeding a little bit here. Will we survive? Now the question is, are you clenching? All right, so this keeps going lower and lower and lower on Dow. S&P looks like it's about to take out New York lows. I wonder if NQ will survive, but S&P is struggling. And at the end of the day, we're in less of a half hour with NQ, which is fine, because I like this Dow buy anyways. So regardless, I'm with it. Let's just see if this thing can eat it up. And it doesn't look like it. It looks like, and here you gotta just face the truth, guys. Face the music. If you want to practice just like not moving your stop loss or improving that, you got to just stare it down. You got to watch it happen. Suffer. These are the funniest ones. Remember, the better you get at losing, the better you get at winning. And I don't mean lose more or worse. I mean accept losing. Let's see. YM buys. Can't afford the trade. It'd be a full R for just a contract. Makes sense. What are my thoughts on Trump accounts for kids? I mean, it seems like free money. I haven't done like a deep dive if there's any hidden agenda with it or something, which is a fair just take in general. I mean, that kind of I think is fair. But yeah, I mean, it seems like it's just makes sense. But but obviously that's surface level. So as of right now, I don't know. Do you have to deposit anything yourself? Is there a, like, how long? I think that's what matters more. Like, do you have to do a self deposit? All right, cool. So we took the L with NQ, right? It just cleared this low. Looks like it's going to take the swing low as well. And honestly, this is probably setting up the Dow buy. So one thing that you'll learn from me is that I don't let an early loss get in the way of the market for me. Like, that doesn't really make a difference. I'm still gonna take the next trade that is valid. So I don't get caught up on, like, I lost first and then, like, and I'm not trying to make it back. It's just like, this is fucking trading, guys. Like, you're exchanging money. You know, you got to take a swing in order to be able to hit the ball, and you're gonna miss. But when you hit it good. Do I trade silver? Yeah. Yeah, we trade silver when the setup's there. So, for example, right now, the break of these highs on gold to me looked more like this was just inducing buyers. So I actually like the sells much better eventually over here. Now, regarding setups between silver and gold right now, for example, I could see why someone would want to buy silver like in this area. You know, you have like silver just selling off like right here. Silver from here takes out these lows, so you see it take out some of London session buys, had some support rolling out over here. But before I would go for something like that, because the lows here are around like 6 a.m. Central, 7 a.m. Eastern, were, I don't know, let's see, let's look at how aggressively is the market moving here. Because basically 618 pullback for silver. Meanwhile, Dow's 6 a.m. low starts here, and it's pullback. It's actually pretty much the same. So if we were to get gold to keep going, like, let's say bearish, like it drops faster, I could be in a silver buy here later. I'm open to that. It would be just intra-session trading though. Probably closer to like this range, 61.25. Maybe something like this. A couple more things need to be confirmed for me, but I could be looking at something like this, like trading it within this range towards like 62. Maybe just something light, because this is a pretty tight zone. But sells, I think, look better at this point though. NFP caught you off guard. Who? Koyo? What does that mean exactly? Like, it just didn't go your way? Was it a leverage because of like your risk? What are we talking about? So also, guys, to give perspective on mitigation here with indices in general, silver is now getting to this range where we started to see reverse, like a big sell-off. Now, this is what NQ just failed to do. And then S&P's highs were also very much mid. Like, it was not strong whatsoever. So I think there's a higher chance that this breaks below than that it holds. But either way, I'm going to be mindful of this. What I'm more interested in is buys down here with indices. So, okay. Well, all right. So here's what I ask, Koyo. Here's what I ask about your NFP, like catching you off guard. Did you lose more than you should have? Because I do, for me, it's important, and you guys, I want you to think about this, guys. This is important. I mean, you know it's serious because I'm gonna switch it up on y'all real quick. Let's see here. How do I make it this way? Okay. As a trader, it's your responsibility to pinpoint the mistake accurately. What do I mean by that? A lot of times we blame the wrong element of our trading. So we'll blame like, oh, I got the direction wrong. And then, you blow your account. But you didn't blow your account because you got that one direction wrong. You blew the account because you bet way too much on that one trade. So it wasn't like, oh, my system doesn't work, my entry model sucks. It's like, for whatever reason, you put way too much responsibility on one trade working out, or the bias. So sometimes you lose the trade, but you marry the bias and you just keep, opening positions, hoping that it works out. And it's important, it's super important that you put the responsibility on the right element, because otherwise you're going to want to change things that don't need to change. And you can't get better. You can't truly get better if you're changing the wrong parts of the game. So you might not need to change strategy, but you have to change your own decision making. You have to change why and how you're taking risks. So this is why I ask, because a lot of times we make quick decisions and we create beliefs stemmed on the wrong reasons. And this is the shit that mentors, they don't teach you, they don't tell you, because they don't know themselves. It's just being real. So that's why, 10 years of experience, I just see traders, they define errors and mistakes incorrectly, and it keeps you losing the wrong way for years and years, spending too much money on prop accounts, on live accounts, and you're making the same mistakes, but you're blaming the wrong things. So this is why this is why we created the syndicate. So all right, hey, you need to know that you're working on the right things, because it doesn't matter if you're always working on trading if you're working on the wrong element of it. It's like you might be a great shooter, but you just can't dribble the ball, and you're like, oh, I gotta keep practicing my shots. Like, nah, bro, you gotta practice how to dribble. So something I wanted to make sure that you guys got, that you're understanding, that you're paying attention to it. Okay. And so if you are the person that needs to lock in specifically, if you don't know what you need to work on, work on it with us. I'm going to drop that link here in the chat, and obviously you all can learn more about that, but all I know is that the Syndicate Gang is built different, and that is now pinned right there for you guys. All right. So, all right, let's go over, because we just had some alerts go off. Let's go and check out what Silver's doing over here. Okay. Silver's in our zone. However, first we got to check, what else is going on? Look, gold is slow over here. Okay, so I'm not going to buy silver. Gold is dropping way too slowly. Silver is now dumping way too aggressively. So this is no longer something that I'm doing. And more importantly, now what looks like a better opportunity, what could be a better opportunity, is silver sells later. So we can look for sells in here in the future. We have to stay patient. Or I'll stay patient. I can't speak for y'all. Buys on Dow eventually still look good. It's not dropping the same with the same type of aggression as everything else. Okay. Let's see. Where's oil? Because if indices are dumping, oil is probably still pushing. Okay, a little bit. I need to delete these. So natural gas contracts rolled over, expired. My contract team, aka Seth. What are we on? We're on Q. Okay, Nance on the money. Not that I really trade natural gas like that anyways, but it's good to know. I know some of you guys do. I do it for y'all. Alright, there we go. Okay, so quick recap. I know we're still in the market for some buys on majors. Same thing, following up with Australian from yesterday. This one stays here. So we got 6A still here. I'm gonna add it to the list. 6A, this is AUD USD for my CFD folks. All right, boom, right there. Let's see. So NQ alert just went off. That means that the swing low just got taken. So we got these lows getting swept. Very nice. A lot of liquidity here. You know what? If we take out this low over here, this is a June 26th low for this structure. If we clear this out, then, oh man, look at our sell from yesterday. Fuck. It didn't want to tag us in. If we look at... If it, like, I feel like we're going to end up seeing this low swept, and that is going to position our Dow buy over here. That would be perfect timing. I may end up, like, let's say that, for example, just so you guys understand better on how I take positions, if we end up seeing NQ sweep like that big, that very important low, and our entry here is, let's say, a bit higher, then I'll take the position higher. Look at S&P, about to take this out here. It's about to kill this low. Nice. Man, the shorts were the ones. Those small, this was the best short of the day. When it just quickly tagged right back in and then just said, peace. Fuck. If only we would have had structure here for a little bit longer. What did we have this for? It sat below for 6 minutes. Yeah, just not enough for me. But what a move. 29,900. 29,900. We're way below that already. Lucid E, are you trading CFDs? Your prices might be different than mine. Target. Koyo, go through our community, man. Go through our free stuff. We have tons of good stuff in there. So go to this, tradingwithmike.com. That'll take you to our free community that goes over our targets, why we target them, not just patterns, but like the why behind the market. There's a section in there, I'll show you in here. There's a section in the classroom that is the Smart Money Playbook. And this will walk you through exactly our system. If you prefer hands-on and an interactive program, like where we're working with you hands-on for an entire month from zero to like taking on prop firms, that's our fast track program. However, we're in the middle of it right now and we won't have another one until August. So I'd say in the meantime, go over here, check these out, and go through that. And then if you guys are already in here, I'll approve you guys right here. So, okay, 28,900. I see. So the lows that I see, I see us getting at least below this low today. So whatever that low is on your chart. So here, I can just pull up like NAS on like Pepperstone or something. 28,900. Yeah. Mm-hmm. $6B. Yeah, this just kept pushing. So at some point in some future, maybe we end up over here again for $6B. But yeah, we're carrying this on. The Great British Pound. They're rallying for England right now. What a game. That Mexico-England game was so intense, man. Oh my God. That game is epic. England owes Bellingham a statue because that was just next level. And my condolences to all my Latinos and Mexicans here. You know, they did their thing. Mexico played beyond our expectations. That Euro buy, I think Ortiz, I know you were looking at this one, wasn't my favorite because of divergence, but it did mitigate. It did its thing. So hopefully you hit TP on this. And then the yen shorts, yeah, these are still nice. Like these a lot. Yen. So here are some of our ideas. Some of these are going to take longer, but I think these are ones we want to have on the radar. If you're trading CFDs, remember the yen on futures, this chart's gonna look flipped upside down for you on CFDs. So go look at these areas. I'm not gonna explain these too much. You guys can go mark them up. You guys have learned at least how to identify this stuff. All right, meanwhile, what is Bitcoin doing today? Coming back down. Structure here also wasn't great. In between both. This looks a lot like Dow. Interesting. All right. And then stocks probably taking a hit today. I think SpaceX is getting close to getting below IPO again. It tagged under here. It'll probably dip below for you. I'm not invested in SpaceX. I'm chilling. I'm good on that right now. Adobe, the rally. Let's go. I got two plays running right now on this. So I got one, well, as you guys see, right over here. And then I have this one over here, I think. Where was it? Yeah, it was right here. And then my expirations are in August. Oh shit, that's next month. Well, we're up on this one. This one, I need to get to like 245, I think, for break even. And then I own some of this. So long term, my projections are for 500, beyond 500 over here. Also in a Netflix play as well. And then I'm looking for this to go into 100. Duolingo rallying to dollar cost average in, we're up, but original entry we are not as much. Down from dollar cost from the original buys right now, down about 20%. From later buys up about 50 almost, 45. Out of ENPH for solar, we had our target at 71.50. So this was a beautiful target. If y'all want to see just the power of exits on the fucking money, dude. Spotify squeeze. This thing probably gives a pretty explosive move sometime soon as we're gearing up for earnings in like less than a month. Chipotle breaking structure. Oh, so there was a good setup. I didn't look into the financials, my bad, Alonzo. I don't know if you're still on with me right now. But Alonzo sent me this chart that looked really good, and I haven't gone over it yet. I haven't looked at the financials I meant to, but I was working on some things yesterday. However, take a look at this. Oh, also, guys, Paramount Sky. This one looks to me like they're gonna break out pretty aggressively. So this looks fire to me. Klarna, another one. But Circle, from a technicals position, this looks like it's in a mitigation zone. It already dipped below the IPO. So reversals out of here look very much solid. And then if you're looking for whether it's options play or just for investing purposes, stocks wise, I can see easily a 50% move here. If not, I don't want to count on all of these post IPO mayhem, but yeah, this looks good for 50%. And I like the entries right now for options. So giving this a couple months of wiggle room looks good. From a technical perspective, I just need to do the financial side of it for due diligence, and then I'll green light this one. But let's go look at indices some more, and then we'll wrap up. Because we just had S&P trigger an alert, which means it just broke below this low, so it's now starting to trade into where we saw a big sell-off over here. So let's go look at this. There we go. And then Dow as well, pushing lower. Everything's working its way down. Cool. All right, guys, so, you know what to do here. You have my idea. You can do what you want with all of that. You don't have to take it way up to here. You can definitely take your profit before that. 2 Rs look good from here. Just see how it bounces. I think a lot of liquidity is going to come into the market right now, though, especially if NQ ends up breaking below these lows. These from a couple of weeks back. So, yeah. All right, guys. As always, it's a pleasure to have you guys here to chop it up, dive into the market, look at what's going on. We looked at indices. We took a small loss on NQ, and then we just have a couple things on the radar. I shared it in here. We shared it in here. We have Dow, oil, a couple of majors, and you have Maya cheering you on in the background as well. I went over some psychology, a couple nuggets in there. Hopefully you can take home and apply it. And then, for those of you, right, if like it was mentioned, if you're looking for some prop accounts, just Lucid, Tradeify, those are the ones that make the most sense, in my opinion. So, peace out, y'all. I'll catch you on the next one. Much love. I'll see y'all tomorrow.